Real Hot Girl election researcher with some updates for you. You know, Republicans are trying to push for this thing that's called documentary proof of citizenship. You might have heard of it, it's popping up. And I want to talk about how it's not about election safety, election security. It's actually a tool for voter suppression. So, let's get into it. Right now, the EAC, the Elections Assistance Commission, is getting pressured by the GOP to update their guidelines to require documentary proof of citizenship for registering to vote. So the EAC, that is the federal commission that oversees election guidelines. They are the ones that issue directives and rules and just guidance to the states for how they should be running federal elections. So they're a big deal. Documentary proof of citizenship, or DPOC as those in the industry we like to call it, it's things like birth certificates, passports, naturalization papers, right? On paper, it sounds harmless, but here's the problem. It's actually really dangerous and it disenfranchises a lot of people. So let's talk about why. So the first problem with all of this, right, is access to these documents. And I know people might be sitting here thinking, like, what do you mean people don't have access to their birth certificates? They don't have access to passports. Well, first of all, passports cost money, so that eliminates people that cannot afford them. Second of all, even with birth certificates, not everybody has access to them. I'm pretty sure my grandfather actually did not have a birth certificate. So by having these kind of barriers, it actually prevents low-income people, people that are born on reservations, people that live in rural communities, people that just do not have access to these documents, even if they wanted to get them. Second of all, non-citizens just don't vote in our elections. So much research is out there that voter fraud or illegal voting by non-citizens just frankly does not happen. The United States is the gold standard for running elections across the world. I will keep saying this over and over and over again. Our elections are safe and secure. So why are Republicans doing this? The answer to that is that they want to make it as hard as possible for people to register to vote and then cast their ballot. There are also issues around equity and availability to things like voter registration drives, right? Particularly in a lot of BIPOC communities and a lot of low-income areas, voter registration drives are a huge way that people get registered to vote and actually then later on turn out when it is time for them to cast a ballot. But under the DPOC rules, it's going to be incredibly hard for community organizations to actually conduct voter registration drives because they will have to make copies of people's birth certificates or passports. The EAC is holding a public comment period right now where people can give comment on a proposed rule that America First Legal, which is an arm of MAGA, they are pressuring the EAC to change the rules so that national voter registration has to be done with DPOC. Right now, there are over 1,000 crazed MAGA people that are making comments trying to pressure. I'll put the link in the comments. I'll put the link in the caption. You should comment. You should talk about how you don't believe that we should be in the business of disenfranchising people because our elections are safe and secure and our democracy actually works better when we make it more accessible for people to have access to the ballot instead of less. So, like I've talked about many times before on this page, the Republican play right now is using bureaucracy to make it as hard as possible for people to register and then cast their ballot. So, like, follow, spread the word.